In a moment we'll wind the clock back, but for now Mavis is getting more proficient and settled around retrieving game. But right at the very beginning, she had to learn with her first bird that it simply had to be picked up and brought to me, exactly like a dummy. So if your dog is ever rough with a bird, perhaps shaking it, I use my voice very firmly with a no in that moment. Encourage the dog with a very gentle voice to re-pick, either a very short retrieve or from your hand. Because when your dog is first learning and it runs with a bird, if it's not holding the bird correctly, the bird often swings, makes it excited, and then it's rough with the bird. So right from the beginning, if your dog is rough with a bird, perhaps over playful, be firm, leave them in no doubt that's not acceptable, and with calm and gentle handling that doesn't encourage any anxiety for the dog, you should find that they quickly settle to do the job. So during the shooting season, get as much cold game as you can, maybe keep it in the freezer, and make use of it for training. Young dogs can learn to behave calmly with birds and can scent and practice retrieving before working on freshly shot and live game. I always collect various cold game during the season. Here I have some from a local shoot, plus one garden bird, which had died when it hit a window on our house. Avoid badly damaged or bloody birds in these early days so that your dog learns to retrieve quietly. This 9-month-old dog had only retrieved pheasant before this training, so I started the session with a heavy cockbird that was familiar. The test is not about distance in these early stages, but a clean and gentle pickup and delivery, so keep the bird close enough to respond should things go wrong. And I continue with the reward of a tidbit after delivery exactly the same as she had for dummies. Next up was the pigeon, which was concealed in long grass. This ensures that the dog uses its nose and will lower his excitement levels if he cannot see it as he runs out. Being a lighter bird than the cock pheasant, I've given a longer retrieve, as if she keeps travelling well, there's best likelihood of her putting it down.
Good girl. Very good.
And after delivery, just by tossing it on the ground, is a further test of steadiness for a young dog. The next bird, the duck, is quite a different feel for the dog, and she was interested in the beak when I showed it to her before the retrieve. So I set it up along the fence line to help try and channel her, and also by giving her a long run out along the fence line, I felt she'd be less likely to lose her line on the way back, and it would keep her travelling faster so that she didn't get distracted with the bird. But a duck is slippery and she's only trotting, so she must have known she didn't have it held firmly enough and she has to re-pick it. But she'll learn from that. But I always try not to hurry the bird away from them at the end of a retrieve, allowing them to sort of enjoy the bird and to share it with them so that they are not reluctant to give it up. And here she's just being allowed to smell it and have another look at it. But of course to remain gentle, and again just dropping it onto the ground so that she doesn't snatch at it and she just watches it is really the way to keep her calm. The next bird was the garden bird, a thrush, which I'd found, and it was used as a blind alongside a hedgerow. The repetition of several retrieves, one after the other, made her unsteady.
No, heel.
So she was calmly called back and made to wait for the proper command. Don't tell a young dog off if they do this. They're keen and it is a simple mistake, so just reset and go again. It is a good policy to teach your dog to retrieve whatever you send it for. So by using small or unfamiliar birds, hopefully there'll be no problem in picking something like a snipe, which can be difficult to get hold of to train on. He will understand that he has to bring in whatever he finds.
Very good. Good. Very good. Good girl. Good girl, Mavis.
Our final retrieve on the partridge was done as the evening was coming on. The bird was placed at the end of the rough path on the right behind a tree, and as we set it up, my cat arrived, but I thought I'd go ahead anyway, and it would work as a distraction.
Go back.
And apologies for the quality of the pictures here, but the light is very low.
Go back.
And I was delighted the way she remained calm and focused and brought the bird in.
Yeah.
So extra little tests like that are constant reminders of how they're growing up and becoming able to cope with the real world.
Good girl. Good girl. Hello, Fox. Good girl, Mavis.